Hello everyone, I'm Jamie and welcome back to my channel. It is a day of firsts because I am coming at you with my first ever foundation tutorial. Now, some people do these so well, like they apply it, they do a 2-hour check-in, 4-hour check-in, 6. I mean, that is dedication, but I am going to try my absolute hardest to make this a very informative video. I'm going to be doing a review of the new, well, I say new, this is what's controversial because I swear it's not, but I'm pretty sure it is. I've done a bit of research and I believe this is Maybelline's newest foundation. This is the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour full coverage foundation. I have the color 21 Nude Beige. I picked this up through a friend's recommendation, and because you can get it at any local drugstore, Superdrug, Boots, and if you're in America like CVS, you can probably get this everywhere. It's not hard to get, and if you like what you see, you can go and get it. The foundation, by the way, is £9.99 from all UK retailers, and I believe it is $11.99 American from all American retailers. If you're Australian, then figure it out. Now the secret is that I've actually used this before, but I just want to touch on longevity. I want to touch on, you know, the finish of the foundation and whether you should go out and purchase this one. So we're just going to get straight into it. Let's go. So using my phone as a reference, Maybelline say they have 16 shades. My local drugstore definitely didn't have that many, but there is 16 shades and they do all exist. As for shade range, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's not the best. 16 shades, I mean, it's not great, but you can see there is quite a decent gradient of colors there. It's not just, you know, 12 white shades and one darker shade. So I mean, I've saw worse. So Maybelline say this is the Maybelline Superstay full coverage foundation. It delivers 24-hour wear for concentrated coverage and a flawless finish that doesn't fade or shift all day. The lightweight yet high impact coverage formula glides onto the skin for a flawless makeup finish that lasts all day. Oil free, dermatologist tested. Apply to the face, blend with fingertip, sponge or Maybelline blender. I thought it was really strange that they don't say you can use a brush, but I mean, I use a sponge anyway, but that is what Maybelline claim you can get with this, and I'm going to let you be the judge and see if you think so too. So while I was in the Superdrug, this was on the shelf and this was right next to it. Now this is also a new product by Maybelline, also in the Superstay collection family. This is the Maybelline Superstay primer, looks like this. Now as for that on the website, it doesn't say much about it. This ultra soothing primer instantly evens the appearance of the skin's surface for the most perfect finish and controls shine to keep makeup fresh and flawless all day long. So right out the back, I don't know if you've noticed, but you'll see when you're in the store, what attracted me to these over the other ones is that they neither said matte or dewy. I know it is oil free, so that's good for my oily skin girls, but it doesn't say that it's a full coverage matte, you know, dry finish, and I love that. Same with the primer. It says it smooths the skin, it's going to help it last longer, but it didn't say whether it mattifies or gives you a glow. So I was very intrigued because I love foundations that are in the middle of matte and dewy. I don't like one or the other. I'm going to go ahead and say that you probably don't need to use this, but because it's quite affordable, and Superdrug, which is my local drugstore, usually have, you know, 2-for-1 deals or 3 for the price of 2. So I mean, if you're there, get it. But let's jump in with the primer first. So I think this is the weirdest consistency of primer I've ever tried. So wet. Like, look at that. And when primers are super thin like that, I get scared that they're not doing anything. Jumping in with my beauty blender, I'm just going to dab it into the primer and just prime my face. The primer doesn't leave any colour behind. It definitely is transparent once it hits the skin. And I've got my fringe down today, so we don't need to care too much about my forehead. Because that primer's so thin, I do feel like I have to use quite a lot. But you probably don't. It smells like, well, nothing. Jumping in with the foundation. I'm going to pop some squirts out into my hand. That's about four pumps I used there. Probably way too much, but we'll see. Just jumping into my hand with my beauty blender. Yeah, I've used a lot of product, but I won't use it all on my face. And we're going to go. Keep in mind I have used this before, so I do know that I like it, but I'm going to explain why. Like, look at the coverage. So I've only jumped into my hand once. Yes, there was a decent amount of product on my face, but like, bringing it down my neck as well. Right under the eyes. So you can see foundation, no foundation. I only did jump into the pile of foundation on my hand once with my beauty blender and applied it evenly to my face, and I really enjoy it. Let me do my other side first, then we'll get back to you. Quick thing, using a beauty blender is definitely going to suck up a lot of product. That's the only thing. But I just jump in for a tiny bit more foundation, and I mean, you can see it covers very well. This is my problem area as of recently, and you can see it does a good job. Okay, I have applied the foundation, and what I'm going to do is just jump in with a little bit of concealer under my eyes, and then we're going to show you the finished product. I thought it's only fitting we stick with the same brand, and I am obsessed with this concealer. So this is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. I'm just going to go in with a little bit of this under my eyes. I'm just going to blend that out with my beauty blender. So even the concealer seems to be blending out beautifully on top. It's not, sometimes I find that once you blend your concealer out on top of your foundation, it can take parts of the foundation off if you're not careful, and I am finding that that isn't happening with her. Okay, so that is my foundation and my concealer applied. I've not used any powders or anything like that as of yet. Let's zoom you in and see what we can see. So because I'm coming in so close, I have turned down my lights a little bit just so you can see a bit better. Now, I don't know if you can see, but there is a little bit of a natural glow happening. I tend to get really dry on my cheeks here, so I tend to never use a matte foundation up in that area, but you can see this is giving me the coverage. I don't know, it is a stunning finish. It's still reflecting the light. It's not Fenty Beauty matte dry, but it's not Luminous Silk Armani glowy either. It's right in the middle. I'm very impressed with the coverage. Like, I'm a coverage queen, and if something doesn't have enough coverage, I'm not going to be using it. I don't have time for it. Ignoring the fact that the colour is a little bit too dark, I would say I am really shook and happy about the performance of this straight off the bat. It's definitely dried down on my face and it's not sticky, but it looks very fresh, my skin still looks hydrated, which is what I really look for in a foundation. By the way, just for reference, you can tell it's my first foundation tutorial because I missed this part out, very important. But my usual skin type is kind of normal. However, I have problem areas, so I do get quite dry around my cheeks, and I always get super oily on my nose, just my nose, not even up here or here, just usually my nose gets super oily, and I'm usually quite dry around these areas. Apart from that, my skin is relatively normal, and so far this isn't picking up on any of that. So I am going to set my face, but I want to keep this review as realistic as possible, so I really don't want to set my whole face, because you guys with really dry skin probably shouldn't do that, and neither should I, because I do have dry areas. But I don't want to not set anything, because then it's not giving the girls or the boys with the oily skin a realistic view, because you probably will use powder on top. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to set the areas that I feel like any foundation would look bad on me if I didn't. So I am going to jump into my Kat Von D translucent powder. With that same beauty blender that I used to apply the foundation, I'm going to apply a little bit of powder to my nose. And I'm not baking, I am just pressing the powder in until it disappears. No matter what foundation it is, I will probably always set my nose with powder because it gets quite oily. Now I'm going to dab under my eye to get rid of any creases that may be there. And I'm going to set under my eye a little bit. As I said, I just like to pick up the powder on my sponge and then press it into the areas and then keep blending till it disappears. I don't want to just let it sit there. I don't think that that usually does that much, unless we're talking drag makeup. And that is all the powder I'm going to use under my eyes and on my nose. Usually I would do my forehead, but because of my fringe, we don't need to. So guys, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to run off camera and I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup. I'm just going to add a bit of bronzer, fill in my brows, a lip, and maybe put a little bit of shadow on. Oh, and mascara and a lash. We don't play games. But no more setting powders or foundation powders on top. Just going to go straight in with my bronzer, my highlighter, and all that stuff. And I will be back in 2 seconds. And we're back. So guys, all I really just did there was add some bronzer to my face and my eyes, some highlighter to my cheekbones, yes, get into it, and then I used that same highlighter in the inner corner of my eyes, a lip liner, a lip gloss, and a lash, and that's it. I didn't want to pack my skin with lots of stuff because I want to give you the most realistic feel. So let's zoom you in now that I've got my makeup on. It's hard doing this because I never know what the camera is picking up, but obsessed with this foundation. And if you see me looking over here, that's because I'm looking at myself. Looking at you, looking at myself, looking at you, looking at myself. I did notice that the crease under my eyes is quite visible. However, that's always the case with foundations. Like, I have this really deep one crease there, and all always gets caught in there. Apart from that, so far so good. Even though I do get an oily nose, I do always put a tiny bit of highlighter just on the tip of my nose, and so far so good. It's not coming off. When I was applying the bronzer and highlighter, it didn't affect or move the foundation in any way, because that can happen sometimes. The highlighter has made my skin look a little bit more texturized, but that's the highlighter, not the foundation. So far so good. So guys, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and film another little video. I'm going to do a few things. I have to go and pick up some stuff from the shop. I have to go and send a delivery back to ASOS. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe use my phone or my camera to film a little bit, maybe in an hour or 2 hours, just to let you see. And then I'm going to come back once I've done all my errands for the day and let you see it again. And then we'll end the video there. So yeah, I'll see you soon. How are we? This is weird doing it on my phone. Look, you can see the secrets of the backdrop. Oh. It's been about an hour since we last spoke. I did want to make a new video, but I've been sitting here procrastinating, playing on my phone. I can't really be bothered taking the whole face off to do another tutorial right this minute, so I was trying to think of videos I could make. Anyway, it's very hard for me to use my phone here, but I've got no filter on the video. I'm using the same lights I used to film the tutorial, and you can see I'm still pretty good. I still do have quite a few texture problems, but again, that's my own fault for using so much highlighter and not exfoliating my skin before I started my face. Full coverage, no patches. My nose, I know it's only been an hour, but usually I would be a bit oily by now, and that shimmer there is highlighter. There's not actually much oil on my nose, which is fun. Yeah, so far so good. I definitely do recommend this, but I'll give you my final thoughts in the next clip, because now I am going to go and buy some stuff from the shop that I need and do that ASOS return. So it will probably be a few hours until we talk again, but I'm not going to touch my face. I'm not going to top up my makeup. We're going to be authentic. Okay? Ooh. Okay, we're back. I know some people do like 12-hour check-ins and stuff, but I can't afford to do that. I'll probably put the foundation on at like 11, and now it's 3:30. So 12, 1, 2, 3, 4.5 hours, I think, is long enough to get a good enough idea. At least it is for me. I know back in the Sephora in benefit days, I used to wear makeup for many hours at a time, and I would know after 2 hours how I felt about what I was testing that day. So I've got a good idea of how I feel. So I'm going to zoom you in, because there actually is a few things. So we're going to zoom you in. Main thing is my forehead. Now you saw I didn't actually put that much product on my forehead anyway. So I mean, I'm letting my forehead off. I have got the odd crease, and that happens to me all the time, but I didn't actually use that much product, so it looks like there's not that much makeup on. So a little bit has came off, but at the same time, I didn't put that much on. Then we've got the face. Now, excuse my lips, because I've not topped up my lips all day either. My nose is still not shiny with oil. There's clearly some shine at the very tip. That's still highlighter. Like, I believe, yeah, okay, so if I rub my nose and kind of take the layer of highlighter off, usually my nose is like an oil spill. Wet. So, I mean, well done, Maybelline. Now, around this whole area, I legit don't think anything has changed. And I'm quite bad for touching my face. And still, under my eyes, again, this crease is quite bad. It has gotten worse throughout the day, obviously. The foundation's still gathered up in that little line there. But again, that is nothing major for me. It happens all the time. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, I have wore this foundation before. But it was in the salon. It was really quickly. I've not worn it on a big night out or anything. It was just for a few hours in work. Didn't really check up on it. Just whatever. I am definitely 100% happy. So in case you forgot, we are talking about the Maybelline Superstay, and I am definitely giving this my seal of approval. Don't really know what I'm going to be calling my approved items, but this, you can stay snatched with this. No. Snatched approved. No, that's shit. Snatchable? Snatchable. Is it snatchable? It's definitely snatchable. No, snatchable sounds like lunchable. Anyway, I like it and I approve it. It's a little bit too dark, so I'm going to buy another one. I've not been this impressed with a drugstore foundation in a long time, so well done, Maybelline. Obviously, this video is not sponsored. Maybelline ain't sponsoring me yet. Paid for this with my own money, and I'm definitely going to be paying for it again. I would say it's perfect for, I would use this on oily skin or a dry skin, because I don't notice one or the other. I think it sits beautifully in the middle. I mean, this could be one of my new faves. Because I work in a salon, I do tend to use a bit more higher end foundations because the customer is paying paying for the service, and I absolutely adore my Illamasqua foundation. Probably always be my favourite, I don't know. But it's pricey, and whenever I can find something that impresses me this much for £10, I'm all about it. So well done Maybelline. Well done me for my first ever foundation review. I'm probably going to work out how to get them a lot more smooth, maybe with longer check-ins, but I've got things to do, and I'm not going to Tesco with my father in a full face. I'm sorry, I'm just not doing it. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you go out and buy this and you enjoy it, please let me know. Message me on Instagram, leave a comment down below. If you have tried it, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you did and what you didn't like about it. I'm very intrigued. Also, if you like this video, then go ahead and please like this video, because the thumbs up button is right there, girl. And then please consider subscribing to my channel if you enjoyed this. Subscribing is free of charge, it doesn't cost anything. I've had a few people say, oh wait, what do I need to pay? I'm like, hun, subscribing is absolutely free. You just push that red button that's right below the video. I recently hit, I think I spoke about how I hit over 500 subscribers, so I think I'm almost at 550 subscribers, so thank you all very much. Have a beautiful day. I love you all. Stay snatched and be nice to people. Bye.